Alrighty, welcome back everybody. It's been a while. Today we have a very different video to start off with. You may notice that this looks a little bit different than Minecraft or anything else I play. Well, that's because it is. Some of you may have heard of it, some of you may have not. It used to be called Mindtest, recently renamed to Luanti. Luanti? However you want to call it. Doesn't really matter. Point is, it's not Minecraft. But there's a reason for that. Now we're here on the 1F616 EMO survival server, which is a server in Luanti. And I'm going to try and catch you guys up the best I can, because I've been on it a couple of years now, but I haven't done a ton, though I have done quite a bit. So we're going to catch you guys up as to where I'm at here so that you're not out of the loop for future episodes. So this might be a bit of a long one, we'll see. I'm going to do my best to actually edit this video now, instead of the usual hour, 2-hour videos, unedited, terrible footage. You've seen those, I'm sure. I'm not taking those down. But hopefully from now on it'll all be better. Anyway, so here's the start. This is where it all started. I initially joined the server because I thought I could just do trains and it'd be awesome. And I have done that. But it was quite the journey. We'll say journey to get there. But I started by building this house here. This music is really loud. That's better. So now, as I said, this is the first house I built. It's pretty basic, pretty simple. Looks okay, but it was a start, you know? I had to start somewhere. Had a lot of trees around to start the area. And then I had this wonderful idea to build a village. So I started building. Now I can't remember exactly where I started, but I know the first building I built is this one right here. This is now the post office, but it was going to be a museum, but then I realized that it's really small for that. But I've currently been using it as my project board. So as you can see, there's quite a lot of projects in here. And some of them are done. Actually, a lot of them are done, and there are still many left to do, and more is getting added to this list constantly. But this is the wonderful town of Oliveville. That's what I decided to call it, because I'm very creative. But yeah, so I built that, built a farm, and this supplied bread for a while, and then I found out that you can make waffles. So I've been having waffles for a while. Waffles are good. Oh, the second building I think was the housing office, because I was originally going to have this as an actual town, and theoretically that is the case, but there's not a lot of new players on the server, so yeah, not a lot of houses, but the plots are here. So there was a housing office, then I built, actually this area here, there's the water tower, and the pier, dock, whatever you want to call it, and the sawmill. This area down here I built second, along with the dock. Looks pretty nice, if I do say so myself. There's also that rope bridge over there. Yes, it's a rope bridge, don't let your eyes fool you. And then I believe the third thing that was built is the train station. As you can see, we run steam trains here, because they're cool. And this was still before I had access to building the tracks. And there was a very basic bridge here that eventually got updated to this bridge. It used to be made of cobblestone, now it's this fancy brick bridge. Around the same time, I also started building the factory. Almost got ran over by that train. Thank God for the signals. But yes, then I started building the factory. Didn't finish it. Did not look like this. It was very basic, just some cobblestone pads and some bricks. But I did eventually update that. We have our cotton field, housing office you saw. Then I built the bank. And the bank's pretty cool, actually. You can go inside it. It's all the ATMs. There's the bank vault. Double vault door system. Totally cool. Totally awesome. Very real. Then we head upstairs and there's just some offices. Nothing too fancy, just a desk. This one's got a window. This one's got a couple windows. That's it. Nothing too fancy. Particularly like this because of the facade upper structure and then these bay window designs. It was pretty cool. My building skills have definitely improved as a result of playing this game. Then there's the tavern. The tavern's pretty cool. Got nice solid floors, dim lighting, couple of tables, nice long bar here. And then back here is where the magic happens. This is where we make all the waffles. And I have quite a lot of waffles. And still more plenty to be made. Some basic food items, nothing serious. Just a basic kitchen. We got the basement where the beer's made. Got barrels of it everywhere. It's wonderful, wonderful. And there's also coffee farm out here. Because of course there is. Best part about it is I even included the detail where you roll the barrels down this. It does look a bit steep, but that's how it was done. And then we have the market. Doesn't have a lot in it right now because I don't really need money. I've got plenty. The economy's so broken, but when is it ever not? And that's pretty much it for all of it. Some areas for housing plots. There's a sundial clock. As you can see, it's about noon. Yep, about noon. It's pretty accurate. We do have some neighbors over there. They're not very active. Haven't built in a long time, but their buildings are there. There's another neighbor over yonder. Then here we have a railroad. Now this is inactive track at the moment because it's not finished, but this is a line that I'm building. Now shortly after this station was built, actually hold on, I haven't finished, I forgot about that side of town. We have this station, this is a terminus station, but we also have, if we come down here, and we come up here into the roundhouse. There's no engines in it yet, but this is the Oliveville roundhouse. I'm very proud of the design, actually. It wasn't easy to make a circular structure, but easier than in real Minecraft, I'll tell you that. So it's pretty cool. Plenty of space in here, I believe, for 9 engines, is it? Yeah, 9 engines, which is pretty impressive. And then that's the express station to get out of here quickly. Somewhere around the time that station was built, I got certified by the server admin to place tracks. And then interlock them as well, which is signaling and all that. But not these. I hate these. These are my worst enemy. I can't edit it, can't change it. And I don't want to, it's all confusing and I don't understand. But I was granted the permission to place tracks, and that made me so happy. And then I helped around the general area to build all of those tracks, the stations and whatnot. In fact, this whole area here, I was also given building privileges for flying and no-clip and fast, which was awesome. Because that allowed me to build some of these larger structures a little easier. And I also got the helper role, which was awesome. So I get a little tag. There you go. I get a little tag that says hello. Helper, not hello. I said hello. My brain is functioning today, I swear. But yeah, so I helped build some of the track work around here. This whole station only exists because Oliveville is here. It's really awesome that all this became because I decided to join the server years ago. But then recently, I built this little spur. And this little spur is pretty cool. And it goes a long way. This is one of my current projects to build a single track main. part of the reason why I wanted to build single track main is because there's not a whole lot of it on the server. I'm one of 2 people who's actually built any of it. But as you can see, this section of it ends here. And the reason for that actually is because the terrain over here is very wonky, so I'm backtracking from the opposite end first, because a lot of that's dependent on stuff. Over here we also have Oliveville Lake, which is a project that I built about a year ago, and you'll notice this giant eyesore. I don't know, well, actually I do know who did it. This Dropkick the Bricks person decided that they were going to put this here a while back, and it's been here for a while. The second I noticed it, I got real mad, because I placed all this water here. You can see where the original water level was. This was a project, that's for sure. And I put a lot of effort into it. But the admin says they can't get rid of it just yet, not without certain things. They're very serious about cases and all that, so yeah. So I'm hoping this can get gone soon. But until then, it's stuck here. And that's pretty much it for the Oliveville area. Not a whole lot going on yet, but hopefully in the future, this area will expand. And this was quite the project at the time. It's pretty cool. Lots of stuff around. But what I really am excited to show you is the other projects. Now, in this server, there's an awesome tool from a mod called the Travel Net system. The travel nets allow you to teleport between travel nets around the area. So you can see all my different ones around here. We are currently in Oliveville. I have a few of them in the area. And then I have my industrial compound. And this is in an area of the server called New Normandy, currently run by Helenosaurus Rex. She's one of the mods on the server. And this is one of the coolest areas I have. It's where I do all my work, it's where my storage system is. Everything that I do industrial-wise is done here. And it's called the Spire because this. The Squire Spire. That's why it's called Squire Industrial Compound. Get it? You see that? And this was a project that I'd started some years ago. When I first came here, I wanted to do this, and it took a long time, because all of this is condensed cobblestone, which is basically one of these is 9 compressed cobblestone, and 1 compressed cobblestone is 9 cobblestone. So 1 condensed cobblestone is about 81 cobblestone, which is quite a lot. Whole mountain area is my area. I also built this track here, and I currently run trains in a loop because trains are fun. And it comes all the way down here. This is the train catcher, because apparently all trains on the overarching system that wander, if they go in an area they're not supposed to, they all end up here for some reason. So I have a train catcher to catch it. That way they don't get all messed up in there. They're just here. They get sent back around and back down to the channel. And no, I did not pronounce that wrong. It is the channel. So if we come down here into the main area, it's the channel, because Helena is British. So, channel. It's a very long tunnel. I'm not going to follow it as far as it goes, but it's very long. Trust me. We have my rail yard here, which is quite large, actually. High capacity. Very proud of it. Expandable design, but very simple. Now, as we come back in here, being careful to be high enough so that the trains don't kill me, we have the depot. Now, this is where freight will come and pick up things and drop off things into the industrial area. They come around here, they loop around, some engine storage, very simple. This here is my Digtron unloader. Digtrons are mining equipment, giant mining machines in this server. It's also from another mod called Digtron. Really like that mod. I can show you what that machine looks like. I've been using this mineshaft for a long time. If we open this up, This is a dig drone. It's very simple, very basic, but the way it works is you power this with fuel. Now that can be coal in a fuel storage container, or it can also be electricity, which is really cool because I can come into here, grab one of my batteries. These took forever to craft, but it was worth it. Pop it into here, and then set it off. Oh, after I give it a little bit of cobblestone. Because it does build its own way here, that way it doesn't get stuck, because it needs to have stuff to grab onto. It's very loud, but it just kind of goes in at night. And it's pretty cool. Allows us to get ores, blocks, all kinds of stuff. And one of these somewhere. There's some cobblestone there. We might only have cobblestone. I don't know how much ore is in this area, but yeah, it's just cobblestone. But if there was ores, those would get mined and be in that container as well. Yeah, other than that though, there's not too complicated in this area. There's my construction train that connects onto the line, because the other end actually, this right here is the other end of that line that goes to Oliveville. And it doesn't seem like it might be that far because you haven't seen how far it is. Trust me, it's pretty far. So I've got a lot of work to do. I've already done a lot of work on it, but there's a lot more to do. But I can show you that now. And this goes down into there for my construction train that hauls all the materials. Yeah, lots of cool terrain around here. Really excited about actually running trains on this. Comes down here, and then right here goes back down to single track main. And it remains like this for a long time. Only with a couple of sidings here for passing trains. As you can see, there's quite the long bridge here. I do like this bridge, it's pretty cool. Not the longest bridge I've made on it though. Navigating this terrain was quite difficult. But then there's this bridge here. This bridge I'm actually pretty proud of. It's quite large, the largest bridge I've made to date. Very simple, very basic, but very long. And cool looking too. So, excited to get to use that for actual trains, that'll be cool. And then track comes up here. I might cut some of this out. We'll see. It's a long track, so. But we're getting through it pretty quickly here. It just seems like so much longer when I was actually building it, because it took a really long time to do it. This was quite a lot of terraforming here. And then it comes around here, and then coming up right here is the tunnel. This is a pretty long tunnel here. And it curves at the end. And now we have an area I'm really excited to show you, the trestle bridges. These are very large trestle bridges. They are very cool looking. There's one here, and there's a small one here as well. And then we're actually coming up on the end here. So far, at least. So if we come right around here, navigate through these trees, we have another small trestle. And then, as we narrow around this bend here, you're going to see the train in the distance and the project that I'm really excited to show you guys. This is going to continue this way into a giant train station, but this is what's going to be my mega base. You can see a bit of it there. That's the only bit I've built so far, but you're going to get to see how big this area is actually going to be here. Built this little hut here to house all my storage and everything. Very simple. But this is called the Reddington Estate. Yes, Reddington. That's a pun related to the Reading Railroad. But if we turn around, this is the scale of the structure. It's not small. It is quite large, very much unfinished. I don't even know what I'm doing here. My building skills are not that good, but they're getting better, as is evident by this area here. Compared to Oliveville, this is some pretty impressive building here. At least, I like to think so. And it did not originally look like this, but then I changed a couple of things, made it look all pretty. Now I'm pretty happy with it. The floor is cool. This area is cool. This is going to be a giant window. There's going to be more of them. This is a project you guys are going to see a lot of in coming up episodes. But that's pretty much it for all of my personal structures. We can take a look at this just to make sure. What other areas are there? This is just a pretty area. Nothing built there yet. It's just a lot of cliffs. You've seen Oliveville. That's a farm. That's a mine. Eagle Nest Station. I should show you guys that as well. And this is just a big flat area that I like. Really, really far away. You might see that later. But for now, we're going to move on to some projects that I've done. So the server admin commissioned me to build this structure. And by commissioned, I mean asked me to, and I did. There was no payment involved, but they supplied the materials, and I built it. And this took a long time to build, because I decided to make it out of metal blocks. These are tin, and a lot of iron. But it was worth it. There's over 5,000 redwood trunks in this whole building. But I think it was worthwhile. It's pretty cool. And it's currently the terminus of the newcomers line. And it's still a little unfinished. This station is not super active. There's not a whole lot in the area, but there will be hopefully in the future. But as you can see, it's pretty cool. It's a nice tunnel. It comes up into there. This is going to be market space. And that'll be the same on all four corners. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Very, very navigable. Very simple. Very cool. But then if we come upstairs, you get to see the big wide open area. Now one thing I'm really proud to say is these windows up here, you might notice they look a little backwards on the inside. But there's a reason for that. If we set the time today, as you can see here, if that sound would go away, that's loud. We're gonna go to the other side. There we go. As you can see, the ENS, Eagle Nest Station letters, make their way slowly across the whole floor here as the day progresses, which I thought was a pretty cool detail to add. So yeah, that's it. That's the station. Nothing too fancy, but it is cool looking and huge. It's a very large building for what it is. But this is one on the inner city line, so it's big trains come through here, and not very often either. But they're fast trains, and they skip a lot of stations. So you go to this train side over here if you want the more frequent hit every station line. So there was an old spawn now called Origin. I didn't do anything there. It's very laggy, so I'm not going to show you. But we can go to this little house on the hill. This I decided to build. Someone's been here. Oh wow, someone's really been here. This is new. This is my little house. Decided to build it because I was also asked to help with building new spawn. And this is new spawn, also called Groma. Not sure why that is. Not my culture to know, so I don't know. And there's music. You know what? We're just gonna mute it. Okay. So this station here, this is Grand Groma Station. I did design this building here. And let's see if there's an address on this side. There's not. I'll show it on the other side here. See? Ta-da! I built this station. I'm very proud of it. I was very, very much in the arches stage. I really liked arches, so I built this because I thought it was cool. And this down here, we're going to go on the inactive side. I also designed this. There was a couple iterations of it because admin wanted what the admin wanted, and I just apparently did it wrong a couple of times. But it is pretty cool still. Not the same as what I originally designed it as far as the interior goes, but a lot of it is. The main structure is, at least, so it's pretty cool. I didn't do that, I didn't do that. I didn't do this structure initially, but I did help with some of it. This design up here is all me, and these arches are also all me. Because initially, Vidu, who designed this originally, did not have anything to support the giant glass ceiling, so I thought something should go there. And the northwest, south, and east stuff, that was my idea. Because I figured they should know which way to go where. Now, if we go south, you'll see this giant building here. And this is the only other building I built in Spawn. And this is the future F1F616 EMO Server Museum. It's a giant work in progress, but it is really cool. Based heavily off of the Field Museum in Chicago, this is a very large building. It's the largest building at Spawn, and also very unfinished. But hopefully I will finish that at some point. You'll probably get to see some of this as well in the future episodes. So yeah. Welcome to the Server Museum. Very proud of it. There's going to be a gift shop in here, in this dark hole, because yeah. These stairs were a pain in the butt. The floor, I think, is really cool. I did my best to do kind of a gradient. Is me kind of dipping my toes into gradients and building. So, pretty proud of it. It's a very cool structure. It even comes down on the other side here. It's cool. Very large, though. Even the admin was probably like, this is a really big building. It's like, yeah, well, gotta preserve that history for future generations. So, yeah. I'm saying so a lot, but you get the idea. So. There's a lot of railroads on this server that connect everywhere. This is a station which I wish the admin had consulted me on so I could make it designed to match Spawn at all, but it's a very basic structure, very cool still. Oh, and these are new. This is cool. But yeah, these are the inner city trains. They go really fast, they go really far, and they skip a lot of stuff. And down here you have the basic, simple, quick, the other trains. There's a lot of trains. There's three different levels of trains, and even some old structures, which, ooh, sneak peek. There's a lot of details on this server that I will not be going through because it would take forever, but you'll get to see those and how they work as we play. There's guns too. They're fun, but not a lot of them. But trains. There's trains. I like trains, as you can tell. So yeah, basically, I did this all today. I'm very proud of the floor design. And this wall it's thick. It's real thick. There's 5 blocks of space between air on the outside and air on the inside where the floor is. It's a lot. This isn't the final interior look. There's going to be another layer of God knows what that I'm going to decide to put there. And these pillars are going to go up, and it's going to be big. I've always struggled with actually building giant buildings because I used to be very impatient with building, but now I'm taking it slow, one piece at a time. And this is one of the pieces I've done. So I'm very proud of myself for actually sticking to it. Train's going to go through. There's going to be a giant train station in the center here, and then it'll come out over the water, I believe. I think that's how I want to do it, and go off that way, and then it curves around, and Oliville's over that way. Still a long way to go, but we're more than halfway there. But before I can continue, I got to make sure this whole giant building is actually built. Wish me luck, guys. This is quite the project. So between this and the museum, those are things you're going to be seeing quite a bit of. And yeah, if there's anything else you want to see, or any hints or help you can give me to building stuff in here, there's a lot of similarities to Minecraft, there's a lot of not similarities to Minecraft, but there's a lot of possibilities that Minecraft doesn't provide. So I'm very happy with this server. Awesome staff, awesome people. And if you want to join me actually on the server, you're more than welcome to. Luanti is free. You can download it on pretty much any OS. And you can join the server for free as well. And then you can come talk to me. I'm on it somewhat frequently. I do take large breaks. As a result, also, content may not be the most consistent, but I mean, come on. Considering the last time I posted a video, this is fine. Consistency, guys. It's important. So yeah, thank you for watching this. This has been quite the endeavor, and hopefully we do better in the future. Look forward to seeing you guys again. And that's about all I have for you today. So, bye. You can go now. Why are you still here? Okay, if you're gonna still be here, click on this video. I'm pointing that way, or this way, or wherever I decide to put the. Just click on stuff. You could click the subscribe button too, or a like button. This is it. I'm running out of things to say. Just leave.